What is going on, everyone? What's going on, Penny boys and gals? It is What the Duck here with Prime Patrick, and welcome to PBU Live. How are we doing, Prime Patrick?
I'm living the dream, brother. How you doing today?
Good. It's nice to have you back on this. I know last time it was like a one-off, and now it seems like maybe we'll hopefully have you on for a little bit more. This is kind of like the combination of your was it Prime Patrick Confessionals on Facebook stream?
Yeah, it's Prime Patrick. Well, that one's on the Discord. It's the Prime Patrick's Confessionals, where I just kind of share all the different cardinal sins that I've made in my trading career, and just so everybody knows it happens to everybody. And I'll keep coming here as long as you're not getting tired of me yet.
No, that's definitely not going to happen. What's going on, Brandon? What's going on, Banana? We got a bunch of good people here. So basically, this stream we're just going to be going over just kind of what PBU is, just really briefly, and then going over the 100% homework winners. We got a bunch of good giveaways going on as well, and we got some members of the week, and we're going to wrap it up with the graduation. It looks like we have Nikki on here. I'm going to see if Nikki, you there?
Yes. Hey, how are y'all doing?
Can you hear me? Yeah. How's it going?
Good. Going all right. Pardon me for not being camera ready this evening.
No, we get it. It's late. I know people are getting ready for bed and all that. So hopefully people who are watching, if you're in bed, you don't have to worry about being camera ready, but
next time.
next time Nikki will be here.
And I thought that was an option. I'd be in bed right now. So
yeah, if it was like a Twitter, all the Twitter space. That's one nice thing about Twitter Spaces. You could just like kind of be in your bed or whatever. But we brought Nikki on because we do. First of all, she's a huge part of PBU, but I know the graduation. I want her to be able to. She's I've been out doing MetaMad NFT stuff. I know she's been here. With all of y'all, so I want her to be able to, talk about some of the
graduation's my favorite part. You know that.
Right, exactly. We can't have a graduation without you. And we're also be talking about options. I know we have a lot of questions about options contracts. Like we're not. I know everyone talks about the Greeks and talks about this and that, whatever. We're gonna be more talking about like, all right, you see you see a stock and you're bullish on it or you're bearish on it. You want to buy a call or you want to buy a put, but you see all these different expiration dates and premiums and all this other stuff, and it's like I think it's gonna go up. I want to buy something that will go up. If it goes up, how do I figure that out? That's what we're gonna kind of like go over, just very briefly, and but just enough so so y'all understand kind of what we're going into. But in PBU, we definitely going to go into a little bit more, but
a lot more.
Yeah, a lot more. Yeah. Speaking of that, actually, I want to throw that up onto the screen for those of you who are new. To Pennybois or just, these streams in general. I just want you all to see what we offer in the university right now. Our November classes is the brand new class. They are on week 2 right now. So they just did the trading psychology classes. Now they're going on the trading plan. The homework is to post your trading plan in the trading plan channel. We have our intro to trading coming up next. And then, of course, like we were saying, we have options coming up in week 7, charting 102 with swinging bull. We're going to be going over fundamentals and then, of course, the final exam. So I'm really excited about all that. But let's get into the options first. Prime Patrick, I want to talk to you. I know that you are a avid options trader, day trading, swing, the whole 9 yards. When it comes to options trading, like let's just bring it, like rewind back to when you first started off. Put yourself back in those shoes. What's like the main thing now that now that you wish you knew that, and that when it comes to just like the premium and the expiration? I know a lot of people kind of, as a new trader, there's a lot going on. They kind of, it's easy to get overwhelmed. Like what's the one thing that you would just tell yourself like, hey, this is what you should start off with?
Well, I mean, the first thing I would say starting off with is stay humble when it comes to options, because when it comes to options, it's very easy to make a lot of money very fast. It's even easier to lose all of that money very fast. Ask me how I know. The problem when it comes to options is, that's what we see on Reddit, on Facebook, and different profit posts, because they're the sexy gains, right? Like it's, wow, look at that huge percentage. If I could start it all over again and go back to where I was, obviously I'd be going through the PBU, I'd be paper trading, but I would have been way more in equity at that time than I was options. A lot of people make that mistake of just going 100% into options, and they end up losing quite a bit. So there's a lot to it, but staying humble and just allocating properly is going to be just one of the main things that you're going to want to focus to before you even get into the premiums, the calls, the puts, the strangles, the straddles, because there's a lot of different things.
And I know Nikki, I know when we last, this is like a year ago or last on our PBU lives, I know you weren't even touching options. I'm assuming now you at the very least got your feet wet, if not are just
She's
going
a
going
degenerate.
hard on these. I know you're always humble, so
Yeah, I'm doing pretty much what Patrick said exactly not to do. And I mean, you know, I have a couple of long holds, but I love day trading options. That's my jam.
honestly, that was my when I was trading options avidly. It was definitely I was just day trading. Honestly, I was just
You were my inspiration, man. You and Uber. I was like, I've got to get in on
You used
this.
to crush Uber, man.
I
that's
know.
what
I
it
was like, I
was.
have to do it.
Honestly, because like I didn't, like this is back when I was first getting into it. I didn't understand all the Greeks. Like I understood what they meant, like delta affects a premium again. This affects a delta, and that's all fine and dandy. But it was still like that wasn't enough for me to be able to confidently oh, I'm going to buy this contract on this day with this premium. So I just saw, I think the easy way, and I found a stock that had a chart that I understood, which is Uber. It was pretty to me easy to chart because I just did it over and over and over again. Repetition, helps. And then I just kind of I think it's gonna go up. And I went and I found the if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I found for the closest expiration, most the one that was closest I could afford, and bought that. And honestly,
Man,
though, it worked.
You sound like you're nailing it, right?
Hey, it worked. It worked.
But what you're saying is actually something that's really interesting that I feel like a lot of people just overlook or just don't realize, and that is certain stocks have certain option chains that really do have a personality. When I say that, it sounds kind of funny, right? But like we're at Uber, Amy, obviously Tesla. My name is Prime Patrick because for a year straight, all I traded was Amazon. I literally didn't trade anything other than Amazon. And then once they went through their stock split and the price was reduced drastically, I could no longer trade it. The personality changed. So that's actually something that's really, really cool and interesting once you realize, like, hey, this thing actually trades on a pretty similar pattern, and you can kind of figure that out. It's fun. I remember you crushed Uber, bro.
I mean, yeah, honestly, like you said, though, it's finding the pattern. I mean, a lot of it is patterns. The indicators. People think they can tell the future. They're not going to tell you the future. They literally just based off of the past. So if you find the patterns, it's kind of like just making your own indicators. That's why a lot of the veteran traders, they're not even looking at indicators anymore. They're looking at just the past patterns, the candle prices, and all that good stuff. But anything else as far as options go? I know we had a few questions in the Discord. For those of you who aren't in the Pennybois Discord, the link is definitely in the description of this video or just in the channel. But I know we had a bunch of good questions. Do you have
I'm sorry, I grabbed those questions earlier.
Yeah, go for it.
So I don't want to hit them all because some of them are going to be, I can't do them justice by answering them in a short period of time. So definitely jump in the PBU, jump into any of the streams that we do because we go into quite a bit of this. For instance, some people were asking about strangles versus straddles and how to get into those. Strangles and straddles are a different type of option play, whereas typically on your basic level, you'd be buying a call of stock go up, buy call, stock go down, buy put, right? On a strangle or a straddle, you're expecting a stock to make a pretty heavy move in one direction. In either direction. Great for earnings plays, great for CPI plays, a lot of risk involved in them, and two very different strategies that trade in a very similar pattern. So something like that, you really want to get into PBU and then PBA, which is the Pennybois Advanced, because those are not to be treaded lightly with. They can actually be very profitable and very predictable. But I digress. I do want to go. I think I just said I digest.
You did. That's what I'm laughing at. It's post dinner, so
I'm a little hungry.
You're doing both.
So one thing that is interesting right now. So today it is November 9th for anybody that's watching this in the future. Tomorrow is CPI, which is Consumer Price Index. This is going to be one of those major catalysts, just like the rate hikes that we see or earnings. A lot of people try to time things by buying a call, buying a put overnight. Call those lotto plays. You can't touch. The CPI comes out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. Market doesn't open until 9:30. So there truly is an uncontrollable lotto, because if good news comes out in your inputs, you're burned. If bad news comes out in your calls, you're burned. So what a lot of people like to do, like myself, is I'll buy something on these catalysts, a couple of days ahead of time, and I'll ride the IV, which is your intrinsic value, implied volatility, whatever have you. Or I play the reaction. Those are just very brief, just easy ways to play the earnings in those major catalysts. Don't hold a bunch overnight like I have in the past and hate myself.
Well, a lot of that is just honestly, a lot of trading is, in order for someone to make money, there's somebody else that you're selling to that's probably losing money. And a lot of it's just trading emotions. The people who are making money in the market are the ones who are trading and, taking advantage of the emotions of the less veteran traders. And you're 100% right. Really quickly, I do want to just go over some of the 100% homework. We are going to go over some more option questions. We have a bunch of good questions in the PBU chats. And we have some good questions coming up in the YouTube chat as well. But I just really quickly want to go over, I'm going to put it up on the screen, our PBU November members who got 100% on the homework. And all these members are actually being added to our giveaway. We have a random wheel spinner that we're going to be doing in a little bit. And people who are commenting hashtag make some bread are also getting entered into that giveaway. And I'll announce what the prizes are in a little bit. But congratulations to Missy NM, Jake B, 33, Aaron DWR, and Immortal Dreg. These are the November 100% homework winners. We have our second homework coming out as well. And part of that homework for week 2 is also posting in there's another hashtag make some bread from Breckle, posting in the trading plan.
Hey, Breckle.
Quick shout out to Jake B33. I mean, I know I've traded a little bit with Immortal, but Jake B33, shout out to him because he's in quite a few of our streams. Really kind of got serious about this. A lot of people just either jump in and they either or they just kind of have to PBU, or they just don't do it, and they're missing a major opportunity with these streams. Jake takes it seriously, and it's obviously showing. So congrats, bro.
Yeah, and speaking of which, we do have our members of the week coming up. So you have people who are members, not only just our students, also our members. We have free member of the month, alumni. So you don't just have to be enrolled in Pennybois University to be involved in the member of the week. Member of the week, not member of the month. Member of the week. That is coming up. So before we go into some more of the homework stuff, our next one actually is we're going to be going over one of our members' trading plans from the October semester. But I do want to go over some more of those options questions while we're still on the the options part of the stream. I know we had I'm going to go one in the chat first. Here from Banana7156, and it's a PBU alumni, who was actually asking about in the chat how to avoid a fake out if possible. They were asking in our PBU chat, but here in the YouTube chat, they're asking, they got faked out big today. How can I predict fake outs easier and avoid selling out red? Because honestly, fake outs, I hear you. Like, honestly, Banana, I hear you. How many times I've seen a stock, I've been in a stock and it's like, oh, like, it's time to sell. Then next thing you know, it's like gone up 100% or vice versa. Like, I'll go into it later. I want to hear Patrick and Nikki. What have y'all been doing to either avoid the fake outs or just avoid the emotion that goes into the FOMO selling?
So let me say real quick that the emotions never go away, and it's all about just mastering them. And let me just explain real briefly. I trade SPX, 0 DTEs. SPX is a very volatile option chain. 0 DTE means 0 days to expire, meaning it's going to expire today. Very high theta. Blah blah blah. Technical talk for holy crap, this thing moves very violently. Yesterday, I was so angry with myself yesterday. I was in 2 puts that I kind of forced, and I wasn't my trading plan. So I ended up saying, you know what? I'm going to sell these 2 puts. One I bought for 75, one I bought for 100. Sold them both at about a 50% loss. 10 minutes later, they were both worth over $2,000. I sold for $20 and $35. 10 minutes later, I could have sold for $2,000 a piece. So fake outs are always going to happen. Fake outs are always going to happen, and emotions are always going to happen. I'll tell you what I did to handle my emotion. I stood up, I cursed at myself for a second, and I stopped trading for a couple hours. And I said, you know what? Not going to do it again tomorrow. Came back today, said, forget what happened yesterday. Made all my money back and then some from what I had lost. Actually, and then some. A very good day on SPX today. But your emotions are always going to happen. What I would say to watch out for a fake out is there's 2 types of fake outs. One where you get scared, always rub it in. So there's two different things. There is the fake out where you get scared because you think everything's going to crater and you sell. And then there's the stop loss raid. Matt, do you know what a stop loss raid is?
Stop loss raid. That's when you get caught in, everyone else, or there's usually a big money involved in the selling, and then you're part of the emotional crowd. They're trying to get your shares a little bit lower or buy your shares lower.
So like this happened to GameStop is a great example of this. So GameStop obviously was the mother of all meme stocks, made a lot of money on that bad boy, lost a lot of money on that bad boy. But what a lot of people did was they set stop losses to protect their capital. But every time it got halted, the stock would absolutely plummet. And it was done that way on purpose. So then it basically would force all those traders to automatically sell. So that's one way that people get faked out. Now, Banana, I know I trade with you quite a bit. I know you like to do your close to expirations. Best way to avoid getting too faked out is buy further out of expiration. A lot of people want to buy 0 DTEs or weeklies or next week. Those are going to be, their thetas are going to be much higher on those, meaning you're going to gain, you're going to lose premium much faster, much more volatile. Try to go a little bit further out for expiration, and you won't get faked out as much, or at least you won't be worried as much. As my number one tip. And Banana, we can go more in depth in this later.
Nikki, for you, as far as like the emotions, the train psychology behind it, what have you learned has worked for you? Because I know you've been doing this for a while now. When it comes to not just stop loss rates, but just just those fake outs and the fake breakouts and fake stop losses and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, nothing pisses me off more. So I have to really reel it in. And so I'm going to make it simple for the new kids. Okay. So this is what you do. You make your plan, just like Doug said, and you follow it. And it doesn't matter how you feel because you stopped out at the percentage you told yourself to stop out at. And if you haven't seen Amy's recap, then you need to go look at it, because if you stopped out when you were supposed to in the one trade she lost today in her options, and then you took profit where you were supposed to take profit on every single other trade she put out, you're going to be way ahead. So it doesn't have to be a lot of big vocabulary. It doesn't have to be a lot of indicators. It just has to boil down to your plan and the math of how many you win and how many you lose. And it can be really simple if you don't try every single time to get 100%. And if you don't try every single time to live on a prayer and hope that, it comes back up when you're in a call. So just keep it simple. It doesn't have to be so complicated. Just follow your plan. And if you do it mathematically and you take these alerts, it's gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine.
That's what it is mathematically.
Just to expound on that just real quick. Everything that Nikki just said is 100% right, and it makes sense, and it won't matter when you're in the moment and you're sweating and you're freaking out because you just lost. So everything you just said is 100% right. But if you're like me, I'm an emotional trader. I am.
Me too.
When I get like that, I know this about myself. I just stand up and I walk away. Big win, stand up and walk away. Big loss, stand up and walk away. Don't be one of those guys that big win, now you're high on that adrenaline and you just go and you just keep trading and you lose half of it. Big loss, now you're trying to chase after it. And don't get me wrong, Nikki, everything you said is 100% right. Just it's hard to keep that in mind when you're going, oh, shoot, look, all my profits just lost. So
it's so hard to cut a loss for me.
I'm a little bit of an adrenaline junkie myself.
I think all three of us are here.
Yeah. So when I'm like a combo, like I would love to just be able to step off and walk away, but like I got that big win. I want to ride that high. So then I go into my DGen account, my NFT account, my crypto leverage, whatever my account that has my profits. I'm just because I gotta let it out. I'm not gonna let it out my swing account with like my my big portfolio. I'm doing this with like my my 5% of my portfolio in this DGen account because it's it's fun to get it out. But
I told you how I have a DGen account.
You do, yeah. I remember last time we were talking about that. No, but Nikki is 100% right though, and that with my legitimate account, I definitely it's like math. If you have this plan, and as long as you stick to the plan to a T, as in not let your emotions get the best of you, because robots are the best traders, and the closest thing to robots is just having a plan and just sticking to it. If it doesn't work, tweak it. and you just keep going until you find something that does work, and then there you go. You just do it over and over and over again. Just rinse, repeat, and make some money, make some bread.
Y'all just try it for me next week. Just do it for 1 week and see what happens. And then when we do this PBU again, I want y'all to tell us.
Full port SPX. No, I'm totally
kidding. Speaking actually of trading plans, I'm going to throw this up on the screen. So once again, these are 100% homework for November members. For October, the homework was to post your trading plan in the trading plan section of the Discord, and UFO had the top trading plan for the October members that we looked over. There's a bunch of great ones. I just want to kind of go over this with Nikki and with you, Patrick. I know that both of y'all have gone through PBU. You've made your own plans. You've been trading with your plans for a while. I'm assuming, like myself, you've went through a whole bunch of different plans by now. You scrapped some, you used some, you kind of tweaked some. I want to see what y'all think about this plan, because this is a very nice, very nicely done intricate plan, and just what's worked for you in the past and what hasn't. Because I know that perspective, y'all been doing this for a bit, so it's definitely good to hear your perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. So first off, I want to say, whose plan is this?
So this is going to be UFO 1021.
So UFO's making me jelly because my plans never looked quite this organized. They're usually hastily written down on a notepad as I'm going, fine, I guess I'll be responsible. So first, what I want to say is what I'm noticing right off the bat is they've got 3 different accounts. This is great if you've got a little bit of a larger bankroll. And honestly, they're trading with $2,500, so it's nothing too crazy. But it is nice to have different accounts, different brokerages set up so you can have different strategies. So the first thing, and Nikki, or if anybody, feel free to say, Patrick, stop rambling. But one of the things that I like that I'm seeing is the take profit and take profit and stop loss targets. You always need to have a defined set. Now, I will say, UFO, can you put that back up just one more second? So if you would look at UFOs, I like that he's got everything defined. You need to have them written down and defined and not cheat on yourself. I would say that I would encourage them to widen that gap between the stop loss and the take profit. So if you're planning on stopping out on an option at 15%, your take profit needs to be at 25%. You don't want them to be too close because you can very easily have 3 wins and then 2 losses, and now you're at a net loss for the entire day because your take profit might get overwhelmed by your by your stop loss target. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I mean, obviously, risk to reward ratio is it's all about finding that tweaking until you find what works for you.
What I see people get scared because hey, I've been in a sea of red, so as soon as I see I'm 3% up, I'll sell for the profit and I'll lock it in. Great, but then they'll hold a loss till 10%, 15% before they stop out. So you can have as many wins as you want, but it just takes 1 or 2 losses to just undo it all.
Right. I mean, and it really does depend, honestly, on the market. I did like about this plan how there are different, they have their Webull, TD Ameritrade, Trading View. They have different plans, for different types of, assets, because it is important. You don't want to be trading with the same plan for your day trading account as your swing trading account or long-term investing account. So, it is, and also, off of that, kind of like what you were saying, Patrick. When it comes to those red markets, I personally have a whole different plan when it comes to like this type of market, uncertain market, volatile market. My stop losses and my take profit are definitely different in a red market than it is for a green market. And once again, it's just takes trial and error. I'm going to throw that back up on the screen.
When you say trial by error, I mean I am religious about my trading plans, and I have trading plans based off of the account sizes that I'm playing with, because I take money out constantly, what type of market it is. And I'm so religious that during my streams, we do this almost every stream, I record every single trade and I'm not kidding, every single trade that I take, when I entered, where I sold, why I bought it, what it was, blah, blah, blah. And then about once every 2 weeks, I, review all of the trades, and about once a month, I revise my plan because the markets, especially this market, it's constantly changing. So you can't just keep doing the same thing. I mean, what worked last week might not work tomorrow.
Right. And the best way to do that is to do exactly what what UFO is doing here with the note taking and seeing what you did right, what you did wrong. I love these. This is from UFO's trading plan. They have all these different assessments, diagnosis, planning, implementation, evaluation for their plan to not only they not only do they have the plan, but they also have ways to improve the plan and to evaluate their plan.
Was this a template or did they make this?
This is what I love about PBU. Like there's so many members, like, because there's a lot of brilliant people in, a lot of brilliant members here, and this is actually just all them. And I've seen some really intricate plans in the past. Like this is awesome though.
This is great. Yeah, mine was stock go up by call.
Right. Yeah, when I was starting off, definitely it was like, I don't know, like 10%, 5%, whatever. But like this is really great though. Like, what is going wrong, what is going right, what do I need to change it? Adjustments. This is awesome.
Yeah, I really like this. I'm gonna steal this.
No, and honestly, it is in the trading plan area of the Discord. I'm looking forward to seeing all of our PBU November members posting their trading plans now that they are going through week 2 and going through the trading plan, going through the plain trend week, and we're going to be going through what of their trading plans next week. But next up, we do have, and Nikki, I'm gonna let you take this one because this is your class right here, the PBU September graduates. This is our graduation.
Give me one real quick, 1 sec before we for trading plans, just so you guys know, I mean, not only is PBU, there's PBU chat and everybody's always helping, but on most Wednesdays, most Mondays, and most Sundays, I do stream fairly late into the evening. And usually it's just, hey, if you don't have a plan, let's make one. If you do have a plan, let's review it. And let's see what we need to do. So if you don't have one, or if you have any questions, or you're just like, why is this not working? Or is this good? Many of us are always on, and I encourage and I enjoy you guys doing it because it also helps us.
Right. I know that usually on your confessionals you talk about like what you've done in the past. Like, and I definitely do want to get into that. I know that next, since we have Nikki here, I just want to go over the graduation first, but I definitely do want to talk about because a lot of, like, I know I myself, Ed, Nikki, and all of us, we've all been through that 1 big, 2 big, 3 big, 4 big losses, or however many it may be, depending on who the person is. So and we've also gotten ourselves out of those holes. So we're definitely gonna be talking about that in a little bit. But I know Nikki's been excited for this. I don't want to keep her waiting any longer.
Yeah,
take it away,
losses,
Nikki.
with those losses, like you were talking about, and you just kind of pick yourself up, because it's like, if you want to trade bad enough, you're going to figure it out, and you're going to keep going and keep learning. And I feel like you said, we've all been there. We've all had to do it. I'm not going to lie. I've let an option contract go to 0 before. Like, you can ask us anything. We've been through it all. So there's no shame in any of the questions or what you guys, might be going through too. Just reach out to us, even in DM, if you are more comfortable with that. But we do have a September graduating class. I'm so super proud of them. This is a good sized class that we had. Board, I'm proud of you. You did it. You're all done. Blum 52, Sailor Brown 79, Devastator, Zekiga, Corey, Biscull. Hello, I'm Kayla. I'm so proud of you, girl. And we have a valedictorian, Raider Cager. And I am going to give all of you alumni tonight, and you will be able to see that channel, and you'll get some extra little classes and perks in there that'll help you along your way. And it's just another benefit to graduating PBU. So anyone's in here and wants to get into the November classes, I'm OG Nikki on the Discord, and you send me a DM, I will move you into that class if you want. And you will definitely be glad you did it. And you're not going to be behind or anything. Like, these are all done at your own pace. Big Daddy and I go over them on Monday nights in a live stream, so that you guys can ask questions live. We can talk about whatever you want. We can go over the class, and we'll get you all caught up. I'm really proud of you, graduates.
Real quick before we go on, I just real quick shout out. I've been trading with Board quite a lot for a while, and I mean just for the last few weeks, and over just the last few weeks, honestly, I've seen him just grow. We all make mistakes. I make mistakes. We're all very transparent about it, but I've seen him just grow, handle those emotions, slow down. Super impressive. Hello, I'm Kayla, crushing it, and Zeka, if I'm saying that right, newest member to our lifetime membership. Welcome, dude. It's a good group. I'm glad you're here.
I'm just laughing at Banana over there.
Real quick.
But yeah, no, congratulations to all of our PBU graduates. This is awesome, and I'm looking forward to our next set of graduates in November, and ongoing on forth. But Raider CGR with 103%. That is super impressive. And congratulations to you, the valedictorian. You can make a support ticket because for being valedictorian, you just got a $50 credit for your PB account. You can use that for any of our other services or to re-up a service. Soon we'll be having merch, hopefully. So make sure to make the support ticket, tag myself. That is What the Duck in the Discord to claim your prize. We do have some more giveaways and all the other good stuff coming up. But let's get into it, Patrick. Oh, there he goes. We're gonna be talking about because I know that we usually have your confessional stream on Wednesdays on Facebook. So I just want to get into a lot of members before they came into PBU, or maybe even during PBU, they've lost a lot of money, because it's really easy to lose money in the stock market, especially if you don't have the education or the community behind you. So a lot of those members all had that's happened to them, and now here they are. So I just want to go through your story, just when it comes to those big losses and getting yourself out of said losses.
Yeah, absolutely. And I many of the people on here have been on here for a bit, so I won't go too in depth with it. But for those that don't know, I mean, it's I've been a degenerate through and through, and I've made up to six figures and then lost a ton of it, and then made up to six figures and lost a ton of it, and it was always frustrating. It was always very frustrating, and one of the things that always frustrated me the most was when you get on Facebook and Wall Street Bets and other Discords, and you see all these people, boom, 110%, and you only ever see profits, and you're like, shit, am I doing this wrong? Am I a bad trader? What's going on with me? And it always frustrated me, right? So once I started figuring it out and figuring out my niche, then I wanted to share this stuff with people. Like I've done, and not to my own horn, but I've done very well over the last couple of years while still making plenty of mistakes. And I think it's important that everybody knows, like, everybody makes mistakes. So I always like to share like one of my major ones. So I just shared the SPX one just a little bit ago. Like 3 weeks ago, I got very greedy, and I was playing SPX, which was one of my favorite things to play. I was over 600%, so I was up like $900 on something, over 600%, and I literally held it to 50% in the negative because it can go higher, and then I never sold it because I'm a dummy. So probably my biggest all-time mistake was about 2 years ago, putting about $40,000 into same-day expiration Amazon puts. Within 5 minutes, I was down $10,000, and it was a gut punch. It was a huge gut punch, and I felt incredibly stupid. I felt stupid for even taking that kind of risk. And basically, what I did was I stopped myself after that. I don't think I traded options for 5 days. I just focused on my equity and paper trading. But, I'd say the number one thing, and this is going to sound kind of cheesy, but forgive yourself. And I think it sounds a little cheesy, but you got to forgive yourself. You got to think of this as a job and go, hey, I made a mistake. That was yesterday. I'm going to remember the lesson because I paid for it. There it is, the 10K story. Shut up. You remember the lesson because you just paid for that lesson, but forgive yourself, allow yourself to mess up, and then just move on. If I had quit every time I made a huge mistake, I never would have bought half the things that I have. And I guarantee you, I will make these mistakes again. I guarantee you I'll make these mistakes again. And that's what Pennybois is for. Like, we all just help each other out, police each other constantly. So that's why I started that Prime Patrick Confessionals. We usually get together, we share some of our big wins, our big losses. What did we do to get ourselves into that loss? What did we do to get that win? How can we replicate that? It's a lot of fun, and usually we have a couple of drinks at the end.
That does sound like a good time. But yeah, no, honestly, you're totally right. Like, no one has it all figured out. Like, like even those like all those YouTubers with the the Lambos and so they don't have it figured out. Like everyone's still learning. So
And for the ones that they don't talk about it, it's disingenuous, and I think it doesn't do justice to everyday retail stock traders, because all you see is in stock influencers, like just killing it, but they're not showing you the P&L. Zoom out, like
right.
let's be real about it. Like, it's own it. We all make mistakes. Own it. We'll go on a journey together. We'll figure it out.
I mean that's what it is. It's I mean with the whole like in these influencer, I'm technically doing YouTube, TikTok, whatever, but like I'm also on the Discord. Like if you've been following me in the Discord, you know all about IZEA, and the bags that I've had, and like everyone's done it. Everyone's lost money in the market. A lot of people aren't even like, especially in this this year, with the ups and downs. Like even some of the best stock traders are negative, and that's okay. Like it's okay to lose. So, as long as they're learning from it, sticking to it, and, positive, in the long run, like Patrick was saying,
And learn. I'll tell you, this year changed the way that I trade. And this has been by far my most profitable year ever, because I figured out that I was a bear. I just stopped going, no, I'm going to get calls. I'm going to get calls and time to reversal. I just go with it now. Now I'm a full on fledged bear and I love it, but it's, you gotta experiment a little bit. Banana knows about experimenting. You know what I'm saying?
No, but yeah, honestly, it took if it wasn't for those big losses, I wouldn't have had it took a few months for me to get back to it, but to get the confidence that I do have now trading, because it's like riding a bike. Once you have the first big fall, it's like, what, that didn't suck so much. It's like, boxing, you get the first hit, it's like, what, I'm not made out of glass. Like I can take this, and then then it takes time. You learn from from the punch. You roll the punches, as they say, and then you get punched again, and then again and again and again, and eventually you figure it out. But and honestly, even if you've had that whole story, and you had the whole recovery story, and then all of a sudden it happens again, that might happen. Like it's happened to me like 3 or 4 times before, and now I'm finally consistently profitable. But like it took a few, and quite frankly, 3 years, 4 years is not a long time. When you think about it, you go to college for 4 years to learn how to do all these jobs.
Most traders wash out. Oh, real quick. Most traders actually wash out, within the first 2 years, I think it is.
Yeah, 2 to 3 years.
And that's why I say, like, literally, not to sound all like a cheesy, inspirational guy, but like, don't stop. Don't give up. You want to just stop trading with real money? Fine. Stay to paper trading. You only truly lose when you stop, when you give up. And that's when they keep your money and you move on. Don't. There's no reason. Keep doing it.
Right. Honestly, the biggest thing for me was figuring out expectations, and realistic expectations. Like for me, like with I wanted to YOLO, I wanted to degen, and I had to realize, like, I can't just like have like this big account, and and only swing trade and only do that. I had to realize, like, myself, like, all right, I had to have this YOLO account, and this is where I'm gonna do this, that, whatever. And then with this account, like, I had to play it differently, and realize that maybe for me, the expectation for one account is going to be different than the other account. And, a lot of people just have these unrealistic expectations. They think they're going to learn in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years, buy a car, buy a Lambo, like, overnight. This is not how it's going to work. It's like with the NFTs too. Like these are like, the NFT projects, these are startups. People don't realize that, like, a lot, like 90, I think it's like what, like 90% or 70% of startups fail after like the first 7 years. Oh, we can go. Well, not right today, but like, we can go in it whenever I'm all about it. I think that 90% of them are fucking are bullshit. But but I think the technology behind it is the future. But I'm not going to get into that right now.
When you say manage your expectations, I think this is an extremely important thing to mention, because I feel like Pennybois in particular, and lottos and things, have spoiled a lot of us, and to the point where I literally feel like this quite a bit. If I'm not getting 30-40% on an option day trade, I'm like, was that worth it? That is an amazing return. And you need to manage your expectations. I was just talking to Snowflake, who's a great, awesome member. And he was like, I want to get to be at your guys' level where, I feel like I'm only able to make 5, 6, 7% a day. That is huge. That is a massive go. So manage your expectations, because it's just like, if your account is shooting up, it's just like SPY. It's not sustainable. It's going to shoot back down. You got to manage it.
Oh yeah, that's the worst thing I see. When my account like does that big shoot up, that's when I know it's like, all right, I need to be very, very, very careful because not only that the adrenaline, but also now you're trading with an account. Unless you take your profits out, now you're trading with an account this much bigger, and the risk is this much more. And people don't realize that. They talk about compounding gains, but they don't understand like the risk involved with your account going higher and higher and higher, and that your psychology and everything else behind has to advance with that. Otherwise, you could take that account up and bring it back down again.
That massive Amazon loss that I was just talking about, that's when I realized I can't trade with this much money in my account. At one point, I was trading with well over $100,000 in a day trading option account. Not only is that entirely unnecessary, but it's extremely dangerous. I was like, hey, what's a $300 loss, a $400 loss, whatever. Look how big my account is, and I was trading more dickish. I was a dick. I was trading like an asshole, and I was taking on larger risks, and I almost got numb to it until I realized, like, I looked at something. I'm like, I lost $5,000 this last couple of days because I was just doing it with such a large account. So I constantly take money out. That's a big part of my risk management.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. That's kind of what I was going with the expectations. It's just like realizing, like, oh, okay, it's a whole different ballgame when your accounts gets bigger, and if you want to be getting making money quickly, you're going to need to trade, a certain type of asset, whether it be options or leverage trading or whatever. It's going to be hard to, be trading, Amazon, just the stock and not the options, and, get rich overnight. So, a lot of but that being said, if you're trading options or trading, leverage trading or whatever, it's going to be a lot riskier. So, you have to expect that you might also tank your account if you're not prepared. So, a lot of it is just managing expectations when it comes to what your goal is and how you're trading. But let's go into our giveaway. I'm gonna throw that up onto the screen. I do the Chrome tab. There we go. Wheel of names. All right. So everyone who was, I know there was like a swinging bull stream earlier today. I just took a screenshot, and I'm gonna be doing this periodically throughout the week. But I took a scrapshot of everyone in the stream.
I want to spin the thing.
You can like press it on your screen or like poke it. But yeah, so like throughout the weeks, I'll be like checking out the live streams, and I'll be taking screenshots and entering people into giveaways, who are participating in the live streams throughout the week. But this is from the recent one. Also, these are all the people who got 100% on the homework from PBU, as well as our alumni. So we're going to do our first spin. We'll be doing a couple of these as we wrap up the stream. We're also going to be doing our members of the week. And our first winner, this is going to be for a $50 either credit to your PB account or a $50, 50% off of a PB premium membership if you are new for a 1-month membership. And is Zekiaga?
Sign up for lifetime.
Well, yeah, so 50% off your first month if you are a new member, or $50 to your PB account. You can use that to re-up, or you can use that on any of our other products, whether it be Titan Trading, Rest or Retire, text alerts, the whole 9 yards. We have it. But we'll be doing another one of these giveaways as well. So congratulations once again to Zekiga. Once again, I am always sorry to anyone who I mispronounce their name. But let's see. I want to get back into PBU because I know this is the PBU live, and we have some members of the week as well. And we're going to be starting off with our PBU alumni member of the week. So this is now a brand new PBU alumni. They just graduated just today, actually, just now during the stream, and that is going to be Devastator. So congratulations. You are a PBU alumni member of the week, and make sure to make a support ticket. You have won $50 credit to your PB account.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Devastator. Very cool.
Anything y'all want to say about our PBU alumni of the week?
I think it's just a cool name. How did I get Mr. PP and he has Devastator?
Oh, there they are.
You're going to have to let them into your BD group. I'm telling you.
My capacity.
There
I
you
love
go.
it when people love PBU. It says a lot about how I feel like their trading's going to go, and um, how devoted you are to these classes, that we break it down. Like, if I can do it, you can do it. Totally. That has never, truer words have never been said. So, um, just trust the plan, and like, you owe it to yourself. You're paying a subscription here, and this is really where you're going to get the most benefit while you're learning, and then the alerts become the biggest benefit while you're earning money. So,
And
it's on.
not just when you're learning, while you're working. I mean, I've got a toddler. I run a
Yeah,
ACM
exactly.
company.
You have a family, and
You can do
exactly.
Nikki, your family. You can do this.
Oh,
You can do this if you're working full time, if you're a student, if you're a parent, if you're just sitting in your mother's basement. There's always a way to do it. You just got to have a plan.
Yeah, no, it's just taking that first step, that's figuring out, whether it's figuring out how Discord works. If you don't want to do that with the text alerts, but like, it's just taking that first step with the PB University. We are working on getting it onto the website only for those of you who hate Discord, but yeah, like honestly, I know it starts off a little bit slow with the trading psychology and the trading plan, and it's like, oh, like where's the charts? But I promise you, we will get into it. We have a charting 101 class at the end of this month, and then charting 102 followed by options, fundamentals, the whole 9 yards. But as Banana says, PBU is family, and like we were saying last stream, this is just the start. We are revamping the classes, but I guarantee you 3 to 4 to 6 months from now, we're going to be revamping them again and adding some more classes, hopefully adding some more, some more classes from our shot callers even into the PBU alumni curriculum. So I want to just get so speaking of Devastator, actually, they did graduate. They had a quote in their test. We did ask, PBU feedback. Devastator was saying, so I love how it changes my perspective on trading. I don't feel like I'm gambling anymore. The best part is a positive atmosphere. When you're having a bad day or made a bad trade, it helps you move on to see other people focus on something better anyways. And honestly, that's a big thing. Like, like I keep saying, but like I said before, there are, other groups out there that have other traders, and, they might be more profitable. They might be better traders. Like I keep saying, like we have amazing traders, but like we don't have the 5 best traders in the world, but what we do have is the best community in the world. And those traders, our 5 shot callers, they're there for you and they care about you, where, the best trader in the world is out on his Lambo, not giving, like just putting his name on some subscription service and not caring about who these members are and the names. And like Prime Patrick, every time that you can just see in the chat, people are everyone knows who Prime Patrick, who Nikki is, they know who Amy is and all the shot caller is. Who are giving these alerts. It's not just some famous influencer, some celebrity face or whatever. As a
you look at you. You're Mr. TikTok.
Oh, well, that's just TikTok.
He's crazy famous.
fire is what it is.
Oh no! So moving on, we also have our PBU November member of the month, North. Speaking of community, I know Patrick and Nikki. I know you all both know North, through PBU. Anything you want to say about North, our PBU member of the weekend? Once again, you just won a $50 credit to your PBU account. Make sure to make a support ticket to claim your prize. But yeah, so North, anything about our
Yes,
PBU
I love North. She knows that we talk regularly, and without giving away, her private life or anything, I just want to say that, like, she has been through a lot, and it is probably like one of her reliefs and getaways that she is with Pennybois, and she's found friends here, and that's just another beautiful part of Pennybois, honestly. But she has somehow found the time to learn and to trade, and she really, really puts her all into it, and I'm proud of her.
Anything for you, Patrick?
Yeah, I mean, basically the same. I don't trade nearly as much with North. Typically, I stick to the D-gens so we can kind of police each other. And North actually has a really good head on the shoulders. Again, without going into anything, she has been able to trade consistently, be a great part of our community, and handle those emotions when most people couldn't. I have an immense amount of respect for North.
Yeah, I always respect the traders in the Discord. I can just tell like they have a much more level head than I do, and it's almost like, all right, like you took PBU now, like you're almost like above me, and like I'm like you, I'm with the DGen traders, you know. I still hold Dogecoin. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't. I still hold Dogecoin. Well, no, with our most recent alert, actually, I did like around like 4, I don't know, recently before the
It was
crash.
just like
Oh my
14,
gosh.
15, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Now it's who knows what after the whole
Who knows that?
crypto.
Are you gonna do a TikTok on that?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. The whole crypto is just. Oh, I'm not gonna. We'll get into that in the TikTok. I know that Bitcoin Jake got into that whole fiasco as well. I know crypto Twitter is just going crazy, but we also have another member of the week, a PBU October member of the week, and this is Jake B33. And I've always seen Jake not only in the live streams, but also in the PBU chat, asking great questions, which is huge because I know a lot of people might be nervous to ask questions. So that's why it's so important for the people who are, who aren't, nervous, who do have the time to, speak up and ask those questions, because I guarantee you, you might think it's like a bad question or a dumb question. There's no such thing. And I guarantee there's like 10 other members who are wondering the same exact thing. So you're helping them out by asking that question. So always feel free. Oh, there's Jacob right there in the chat. Always feel free to ask questions. And Jacob, yeah, so congratulations. You won Jacob, you won $50 credit to your PB account. Make a support ticket in our Discord. Make sure to tag me to claim your prize. And once again, congratulations, Jacob B33. And I know we also have a free member as well, John C. Looks like they joined back in Pennybois back in December 2020. Probably was with us back and forth. I know we have a lot of members have been hit with not only this crypto crash, but just the market crash and just the economy. So John C., I know you have been with us before. So you just won as well. So you can make a support ticket and hopefully we can get you back in there with that $50 or 50% off. And it looks like, gosh, I'm loving there for Jake B33. And we got a question here from Board, actual education question. How does futures trading correlate with market trading? Is it really a clear indicator of what will happen during the day or no? So can you just look at futures and be like, hey, futures saying this, I'm going to buy calls or I'm going to buy puts? Or how do you, like, when you look at the futures, what do you look at, I guess, is the...
Sure. So, and that's actually a great question. And I see that a lot and I see people, and I'm not talking about trading futures. I don't trade futures because at some point you have to unplug. You actually have to have a pretty large bankroll to be able to play futures consistently and profitably. However, futures are a good indicator to how you can expect something to open up in the immediate short term. And when I say the immediate short term, we've all seen blood red futures or bright green futures at 9:25 a.m., 9:30 a.m. the market opens and then everything reverses. So yes and no. What I like to do is I actually kind of like to look at the global market, see what markets have already closed down before ours open. And if theirs were very red and our futures are red, I feel good about having a red day or at least a red open. But on days like this, remember, if you guys are watching this in the future, today's 11/9th, we have CPI tomorrow. Futures and futures don't mean anything until that CPI is released. One thing I do like to do is actually consistently watch futures as if I'm trading SPX spreads and stuff. I watch futures because it kind of gives me an idea of where I might be very shortly. I wouldn't rely too heavy on futures, but it is a good indicator.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of things in trading that people swear by, it's usually just you can use as an indicator. Like nothing is set in stone when it comes to trading, especially the future.
I put eggplants on my graph, and that's how I figure out.
Just kind of throw darts at it. But yeah, we have any other questions from the chat? I'm gonna do one more giveaway before I'm just writing down some of the names of the people in the chat currently who've been commenting. And there's a question right there from Board. Are you sure that the CPI will not have effect, or futures have effect in this coming out at 8:30 a.m.?
Futures aren't going to. I mean, if it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what futures are. And futures can be as green as green could be, or as red could be, if CPI so tomorrow's CPI, but if it was not CPI, let's say it was rate hike or whatever, if you have that big of a catalyst, futures doesn't matter. What matters is that catalyst. So if we are extremely green in our futures, but then a very bearish and hawkish CPI comes out, futures will not matter because we're going to dump. Same on the flip side. So I would not even care about indicators right now. I would not care about futures. I only care what happens at CPI and then immediately after.
Nikki, what are you looking at tomorrow?
I'm always looking at SPY, baby. Like, I went a while where I was grounded from SPY, and I needed that. And I think everybody needs to understand when it's time for a timeout with a certain ticker.
Yeah.
And I had to recognize, like, it taught me, who was in charge, and it was not myself. So once I realized that, and stop losses are your friend, that one took me a minute with SPY especially. And that way I can play it more. That's what people don't understand. When you stop out, yeah, it sucks. You lost that trade, but you get to play even more. You get to do what you love even more. So don't forget that when you're stopping out, it's going to allow you to do it again.
Yeah, I know. Especially a lot of people have these, they have their bags, especially people who, who are just joining us. Oh, I know. And, they see these bags and they're like, oh, I'm down 20, 30, 40%. I can't sell. I can't have that loss. And they'll just let it sit there for like, a year until it, it goes up like 10 more percent. They're finally like, oh, I'll get rid of it. But like, if you think about it, like, if you look at the stock and it's not a stock that you actually think is going to come back up, and you have like, a fundamental technical reason to believe that, and you're just hoping that you're bad, you're praying that, your emotions will this stock up and you'll eventually get out of this bag. Think about it, like, if you can use that money that, if you just sell it, use that money to make back that 20, 30, 40% that you just lost, in a month or 2 months, as opposed to waiting that year for that bag to come back, where is that money better spent? So it definitely does matter, when it comes to those bags, is this a stock that you, or, crypto, or whatever asset that you see coming back? If so, then, how long do you think that will happen? And then, how much is that bag that you have? And do you think you can make it back in a quicker amount of time? It's definitely a good assessment when it comes to those bags.
And not just make it back, but for when I was holding heavy GameStop bags for a long time, and I knew it was going to come back up, and it did, but it took about 4 months. And I never really realized a loss, but that was 4 months where I didn't get a trade with all that capital.
Right. And that's exactly what it is. Like, yeah, I didn't lose, but, I lost all that capital that I could have, all that time with that capital, I could have had making money for me. You saw that comment in there too. Like, both of us, like, wait, what?
We got
like a bot in our
if there's anybody
chat or something.
Anybody that's newer or struggling or whatever, I'd recommend staying away from SPY, QQQ, those kind of things.
I do too. You're right.
And we can get in, not tonight, but we can get into how SPY works. And like, if you don't want to trade SPY because there's better option chains out there and less expensive ones, if Lee says, hey, SPY call, SPY's actually made up of 500 different stocks. So you can go, all right, he's saying SPY call. Let me look at the tech sector because that makes up 24% of this. Let me look at Apple because that makes up 7% overall. You don't have to just trade SPY, and I actually recommend not.
No,
it's true.
Yeah.
There's safer things. I mean, I definitely have a thrill factor with SPY.
We're DJs. We're just How did they let us on here doing the PBU?
I don't know. I didn't choose SPY. SPY chose me, man. I don't.
No, but Patrick, you brought up a good point there. I honestly, and I've done this before. I see Lee or Amy or somebody. I see somebody talking about SPY or talking about calls for for something like SPY. A stock that typically goes up when the market's going up. I'll go on Uber and look at the chart, be like, all right, they're bullish on SPY, they're bullish in the market. Here's that stock that I know, which is, for those who don't know, I religiously just trade Uber because I understand the chart. So I'll use their alerts, not just to trade only, their plays, but I'll use, their market sentiment to trade my own plays as well. So it is important to, when it comes to these alerts, not just to use them as like, you don't have to go like by the book. Eventually the goal is to become your own trader, and you can kind of use them as like a advanced scanner or like a live person scanner. You can DM like, hey, what did you mean by this? Or screener, I guess in this case.
100%. I'll be honest, and I'm honest with it. I am not the best at TA. I'm not the best at figuring out what the top and the bottom is. Figuring out, I'm not good at timing things. I'm really not. That's why I like to scale in and scale out of things. But when I was consistently trading Amazon and only Amazon, that's exactly how I do it. Lee or Amy or somebody would say SPY calls. I'm looking at Amazon calls. Somebody says SPY puts. I'm looking at Amazon puts. It really does work out very well if you figure out how that cycle works.
Yeah. I mean, that's like as soon as I when I was doing this, making the PBU class and stuff, I was like binge watching YouTube videos. One thing that stuck with me was like this one trader who just did these three candle patterns, and that's all that they ever played was just these 3 different candle patterns, and they scanned for it, and if they couldn't find it, they wouldn't trade. They wouldn't trade for that, that hour, or that day, or whatever. But when it did pop up, they knew exactly how to trade it because that's just what they did. And as long as they have like XYZ setup. But like a lot of people, I think they get overwhelmed because there is so much to learn. Not just there's stocks, there's options, there's crypto, there's OTC, there's NFTs, there's all that stuff. But then also just in each individual asset, there's so much going on.
Absolutely.
So it's easy to get overwhelmed, but that's why we're here. You can ask those questions. Where should I start? Or just go and go through PBU, because we kind of do lay it out there for you. The trading psychology, trading plan. Then get the trading tools and the charting and all that. Just it's easy to get overwhelmed. Just I love the background, but it's easy to get overwhelmed. But just take a deep breath. If you are a new trader, especially if you have that big loss and realize that it is possible. Here we are, Prime Patrick, myself, Nikki, we've all had those big losses. That's kind of that's what his background's all about right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
We all came back from it. Anything else from y'all? I'm going to do this last giveaway while we think about that really quick. This will be for Prime Patrick. What do you want to give away?
What are the options? I mean,
whatever you want, membership wise. You want to do
I'll tell you what. Let's do a 2-fer. Why don't you pick one of the normal ones, and then I will offer up a free 1-to-1 from me.
Oh, there you go. All right. Which one do you want to do first?
Let's do the 1-to-1.
All right, 1-on-1 with Prime Patrick. All right. Let's see. That's awesome. That's an awesome giveaway prize. Oh, is almost bored and almost be rich. I know they're both in the chat. We got Brother D.
Awesome.
Congratulations, Brother D. That is pretty awesome. You just won that 1-on-1 with Prime. That was so close to bored. And
bored and I basically do a 1-to-1 at least once a week anyway.
Right. So yeah, that's Brother D. And then we got the other one as well. Let's just give away a free membership. Let's go for it. Why not? Boom. We're going to press that button, spin that wheel, and it's going to be for a free 30-day membership. I'm hoping it lands on a free member who can join us. Oh, Buck Wild, I believe.
He's a lifetimer.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, there we go. All right. Well, we'll give you a $50 credit to your PV account. Then you can use that for, hopefully we got some merch, like I said, going on soon. I think that we need like some kind of shirt with you, Patrick, with that background or something. And
yeah, I think we need a cap too. Yeah. It's all easy and people love them.
I think we can come up with some pretty cool. I really want the PBU alumni shirts, but so Buck Wild, you can make a support ticket and get that $50 credit to your account. There's a banana. You'll get them next time, board. But anything else from y'all, Patrick? Anything else from you? I know you usually do your Prime, your professionals. So anything else that we missed?
No. I mean, it's the one thing I'd say, guys, is tomorrow. Obviously, we have CPI at 8:30. We're going to see a lot of volatility. I personally do not like to jump into a trade at least 30 minutes into market open. I'm not always great about it, but that's at least what I tell myself to do. And then watch out for traps tomorrow. Those days can be very, 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 very finicky. We still don't have all the election results in, but expect anything tomorrow. Trade light, trade smart, trade profitable.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people telling you a lot of things tomorrow, and just try to filter out as much of the noise as possible. Everyone has their opinion. Everyone's a genius. Everyone's a guru. Everyone knows what's gonna happen tomorrow, but no one knows. So looks like Board is nervous about that. But yeah, so are you gonna be trading that? What, are you gonna be live at all? Do we have any live streams going, Nikki? I know you're the schedule
We do
master.
indeed. Yes. What is tomorrow? Thursday.
Yeah,
We
right,
have
yeah.
new member orientation. It's a super important stream. You don't have to be new to come to it. You do, however, need the welcome roll. If you don't have that, DM OG Nikki. I'll be happy to add that for you. But we also have OTC Talk with Lily Star in Jersey at 4. And at 2:30, we have Theta Thursday with LT. And
Nice.
so that's going to be, that's going to be back. And I'm glad about it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, we got options, OTC stuff, got everything going on tomorrow. So we'll get to see kind of what the CPI has, effect has on all sorts of different types of assets in the market. Looks like Board's going to all the new member orientations. Honestly, that's the way to do it, though. You learn something new every time with swinging bull over in the new member orientation.
I swear to God, I'm not exaggerating. Where I probably went to 100 of them.
But yeah. So definitely be careful tomorrow. Like Patrick was saying, we got the CPI. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to ask them in Stock Talk or the PBU chat. And after the stream ends, feel free to any feedback about the PBU live stream. We're not doing this for us; we're doing this for you. Like we want to make sure that we do.
That's not true. I need the attention.
No, we're doing this strictly for Patrick. You know what? There we go. But no, well, the whole point of this is it's for y'all to get the most get the education, just there's the most value out of these live streams, your membership out of PBU, for those, especially who are lifetime members, let us know whatever we can do to, make your experience in PBU and just Pennybois in general, just, better. But yeah. Anything else from y'all before we head out?
No, my Adderall's wearing out. I'm ready to.
Yeah, I'm like looking at the time, and I know daylight savings and all that. So yeah, thanks everyone who joined. Thank you for that. We're definitely gonna be doing this, like we said, weekly. We're gonna determine the time. We're just kind of like doing back, we're just kind of seeing what works best for the members, seeing what time everyone's available. But it's definitely going to be during the evening. We're just figuring out probably either Wednesday or Thursday. So once again, in the PBU chat, let us know what works best for you. We hope to see you next week in the PBU live, but obviously we'll all be seeing before that. So until then, we hope that you all make some bread.
Bye.